Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Dahlia. Today we are back on Nevermore, my dark winter academia island, working on a new build. Today we're going to be working on a couple of villagers' homes and kind of just continuing off from my last video where I made a couple of restaurants. If you haven't checked out that video, I'll link it in the description as well as the top of the card. So I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are new here, comment down below letting me know how your day is going, and without further ado, let's head over to the area we're going to be working on today. So like I said, we're going to be working on a couple of villagers' houses. We're going to be working on Dobby and Wolfgang's houses, and also creating some fake buildings. And this is going to be kind of like a two-parter because I don't work on this entire section, but we do get a lot of area covered today, which is really good. So yeah, let's head over to res services and do some customizing. So I only have to customize Dobby's house because I had previously already customized Wolfgang's when I was originally going to do his house for another build previously, and then I just didn't end up doing that. So I'm customizing Dobby's house the same way I've customized all my villagers' homes. They all have the same external layout because I just kind of want everything to kind of match and to go with the castle and the medieval building side items that I use for a lot of the fake buildings on the island. So we're going to be, like I said, working on a couple of the villagers' houses and just kind of creating like very simple exteriors for them. Like there's really nothing too fancy for the outlines of their houses. And I'll be creating a fake building to the left of this area that's kind of matching a build I did at the entrance of my island, if you guys saw my entrance video forever ago. And now I'm going to be working on some pathing. Now what's nice about this is I actually downloaded a new path. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Dahlia, you're so close to finishing this island. Why are you buying or downloading? Thank God these are free.
For free with education connection.
Why are you downloading an entire new path? And the answer to that is,
I have a permit. This just says I can do what I want.
I had a road code downloaded since the beginning of this island that I absolutely love, that I actually never ended up using because this island doesn't actually have a lot of streets. Like there's a lot of paths, but there's not a lot of streets. Like I haven't really used like the cars or any items that would make like an actual like road. So I've just been creating a lot of like pathing and more like cobblestone kind of streets like I'm creating here. So I figured let's just get rid of the code that I originally had and download another one because I found this other code that I really like, and I had the cobblestone, like the black cobblestones I just placed down, already downloaded, and I think I used it maybe one time in like a small area, but there's a code that's attached to it. So I was like, you know what, let's download this code. I can use it in this build and maybe find like one or two other small areas I can use it in, because I have this other cobblestone gray stone tile code that I've been using for a couple of other areas on the island, and I kind of wanted to mix it up and just do something a little bit different. So I figured to go with this one. And what's nice about this one is that it's different enough from the other codes that I've used that I really think it stands out, especially considering it's more of like a gray white brick, whereas a lot of the other codes I've been using have been like more of a dark gray, almost black, or like more slated gray. So I feel like this definitely stands out in comparison to other codes I've used. So for this particular section, we're just going to be creating kind of like a it's hard to describe. You're gonna see me kind of like experiment with like the placement of the path, but I kind of wanted like this area to connect to the previous build, like I said. So it's going to be kind of like a path going straight up and then to the right, and then it's gonna like kind of have that fork in the road that you guys saw me create. And once again, it's really fun to experiment with new codes, but there is always that learning period. You're kind of just experimenting with how to place the path down, which is always, you know, fun, a little annoying sometimes, but I really love how the code looks with the other custom designs I've already had. And one of my favorite things about Animal Crossing is mixing codes from different content creators and just kind of finding things that like mesh and work well together. So I did show you guys the pretty general idea of how to lay this out. If you're curious about how I lay this out, let me know. Maybe I can do more detailed explanation, but I feel like I really broke down the clips to show you guys exactly how I placed everything down, and I just kind of experimented to see what worked. And yeah, so like as you guys can see, I already placed both the villagers' houses down, and now I'm working on the pathing a little bit more. And I knew I wanted to create another fake building to the left of this area here, because further to the left is my res services, and then I have some dorm rooms with some of my villagers' houses like there too. So I kind of wanted to do a mix of like villagers' houses and then fake buildings and then villagers' houses. I'll probably be doing the same thing on the left side of my island next to my museum, because I actually didn't realize how much space I actually have left on the left side of my island, but I have quite a big section. So I'll be doing, after this, I still have 4 villagers' houses to work on as well as my own. So I'll probably be putting some villagers' houses over there, probably matching similarly to what I did on this side with just like the houses kind of like stacked like this. But we'll see. I'm still not like 100% certain, but I'm having fun kind of experimenting. I'll probably end up using this code again, like I said, in that area too. So now I got the general layout and everything kind of placed down. I'm placing this, what I assume is supposed to be like a grate or like a divider of the code in like the sections along the road, just to kind of give it a little bit more character. And now we're working on creating the fake building. Like I said, it's similar to a fake building I did at the entrance of my island, where I used like obviously the castle items and then the nuptial bell to kind of make it look like a clock tower kind of vibe. I feel like having a couple of these around the island kind of like, I don't know, it kind of gives me like old-timey old college buildings vibes. I don't know, does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. But I pretty much like just replicated the exact same building, changed it a little bit, and it looks nice. So these are the items I use if you're looking to recreate it yourself. It's really easy to honestly make buildings like this, and it's a fun way to just like add height to spaces. And I feel like this really connects to the other fake buildings, like I said, that I have around it. It looks really good. Like from the top, like you can see the nuptial bell. It really does look like a clock tower to me, and I love it. And yeah, so for the front of the fake building, I'm using some more medieval building sides, and like on the sides I'll be using them too with some decorative pillars. And yeah, nothing fancy. None of these fake buildings that I've made on the island have really any purpose. Like there's a couple, obviously, as you guys have seen me build, that are like restaurants or like my library, but for the most part, a lot of these are just meant to act like, whether they're more dorm rooms or buildings for like lecture halls or something. It's kind of like, you know, up to your imagination to kind of decide what the builds are going to be.
Imagination.
So now I'm just placing a couple of more external items just to finish off the fake building. And one thing you'll see me do is I do obviously place some more trees around the build, but they're not as symmetrical as like the builds that I have been creating, because a lot of my builds I've been kind of creating symmetry with a lot of my trees. This didn't quite work out the same way because the build itself isn't symmetrical on both sides, so I kind of like had to get a little bit creative with like the trees. You guys will see me place it a little bit, and then at the front area I'm just doing like kind of like a sitting area with some bistro tables, and it's kind of like a, you know, courtyard type of vibe, which I've had quite a few courtyards on this island, so what's another one? And then I decided to add the gazebo at the center of the area because it fit perfectly. I get rid of it for a minute there when I place a couple of additional items, but I love the placement of the gazebo, so I ended up actually keeping it, and it kind of navigates the flow of traffic around the build, which I really like. So I I like it. I like it. I don't know. And then I'm creating some details with some chairs and tables in front of the villagers' houses, and I'm essentially finished the build. Like, it wasn't too difficult to create the build. My main issue was literally just the pathing. But yeah, honestly, after this, I'm just creating some extra details around the villagers' houses with some plant partitions and some street lamps. I do have to get a little creative with like the placement of the street lamps because, like I mentioned, these two builds aren't parallel from the left to the right, so I kind of have to just be a little bit more mindful of how I place everything down because I still want everything to kind of match, you know, and be cohesive. But yeah, that's basically it. We'll be continuing this area further back here in the next build, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you are looking forward to the next video and you want to tune in, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure to like today's video if you enjoyed. Drop a comment down below if you did. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!